Hello everyone! Today I am going to read Ginny B. First Grader at Last by Barbara Park. So, let's try to read the back part. Okay? So, hooray! Hooray for a brand new school year! Only for Ginny B. Jones, things are not actually that pleasant. Because first grade means having to get used to a whole new classroom, and a whole new teacher, and a whole new bunch of strange children. But here's the worst thing of all. When Ginny B tries to read board on the board, she can't seem to see what everyone else is seeing. Is it possibly she might actually end up wearing glasses? So now, I am going to read Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is First Grade Surprises. Thursday, their first grade journal. Yesterday was the first day of school. It is new here. Today, my teacher handed out these journals. He is making us write in these dumb things. Only I don't even know what to write. My teacher has muscles and a mustache. His name is Mr. Scary. He made that name up, I believe. I am not even scared of him, hardly. From Ginny B, first grader. I put down my pencil and I look at what I wrote. I did a sigh. I would like to go home now. I said to just myself. Shh, said a girl named May. I'm still trying to do my work. May stood next to me in the back of the room. I do not actually care for that girl. Just then, my teacher stood up at his desk. His mustache smiled real friendly. Okay, boys and girls, you can stop writing now, he said. As I told you earlier, we will be working in our journals. Quite often as this year, in fact, it won't be long until your journal starts feeling like an old friend. I rolled my eyes at the ceiling. What kind of an old friend looked like a dumb notebook? I said. Shh, said the maid again. You shouldn't talk while the teacher is talking, Ginny Jones. I looked at her real annoyed. B, I said. My name is Ginny B. I think I have mentioned that to you before, May. I leaned closer to her face. B, I said. As for that, I slumped in my seat and I put my head on my desk. I peeked at the other children who stood near me. Their names are Herb and Lenny and Joseph. I do not know them from a hole in the ground. I did another sigh. First grade is not what it cracked up to be. My room is named Room 1. I was nervous when I came here yesterday. That's how come Daddy had to carry me all the way to the room, as my legs felt like squishy jello. He put me down outside the door. Well, here we are, Ginny B said. First grade at last. My stomach had flutterflies in it. Also, my arms had prickly goosebumps, and my forehead had drops of sweaty. I am a wreck, I said. That smiled very nice. Then nothing to worry about, Ginny B. I promise, he said. You're going to love first grade. Just think, there's a whole room full of brand new friends just waiting to meet you. He ruffled my hair. Are you ready to go in now? He asked. Are you ready to begin your first grade adventure? I looked at him a real long time. Then I quick spun around, and I zoomed around down the hall as fast as I could. Then he zoomed after me. He caught up with me speedy quick, and he carried me back to my class. Only this time, he carried me straight into the room. As soon as he put me down again, I hid behind his legs, because that place was a zoo, I tell you. There were people everywhere. There were girls and boys, and then mothers and daddies, and grandmas and grandpas. Plus, also, there were drooly babies in strollers. Then, all of a sudden, my whole mouth came open, because good news! I finally saw someone I knew. I jumped up and down and all around. Daddy! It's Lucille! Lucille, I hollered. Remember Lucille? Lucille was my bestest friend from kindergarten last year. Lucille was standing at the desk next to the window. I ran to her in a jiffy. Then I hugged that girl, and I couldn't even stop. Lucille, it's me, it's your bestest friend from kindergarten, Ginny B. Jones. I tried to pick her up. I am so glad to see you, friend, I shouted real joyful. Lucille pushed my arms off her. Stop it, Ginny B, stop it, she said. You're wrinkling my new back-to-school dress. This thing costs a fortune. I stopped hugging her. Lucille smoothed and fluffed herself. I smoothed and fluffed her too. There, I said, good as new. After that, I grabbed Lucille's hand and I started to pull. Come on, Lucille, let's go find 2 desks together, I said. I think we should sit near the door. Want to? Huh? If we sit near the door, we can stare at people who walk down the hall. Lucille yanked her hand away. No, Ginny B, no. I'm going to sit at this desk right here, she said. I already picked it out with my 2 new friends, Camille and Chanel. She pointed at the door. See them over there? She said. I met them before you came. They are saying goodbye to their mother. Aren't they precious? I looked at Camille and Chanel, and guess what? My eyes popped right out of my head because wow, those girls were twins. That's why I sprang way behind there. Twins, they're twins, Lucille. This is our lucky day. I pulled on her again. Come on, Lucille, let's go touch them. Hurry, before a line forms. Lucille did not bite a muscle. Stop it, Ginny B. Quit pulling on me, she said. Camille and Chanel don't want to be touched. And besides, I am their new best friend, not you. I looked surprised at that girl. Yes, but I can be their bestest friend along with you. Right, Lucille? I asked. All I have to do is meet them, right? And then all of us can be bestest friends together. Lucille shook her head. No, Ginny B, I'm sorry, but you and I have already been best friends, remember? She said. We were best friends for a full 1 year. So now it's time for Camille and Chanel to get a turn. She did a shrug. It's only fair of me, she said. And besides, their names rhyme with my name and yours doesn't. She wrinkled her nose very cute. Camille and Chanel and Lucille. See? Isn't that darling? After that, Lucille gave me a pat. Don't be sad, okay? She said. You and I can still be friends, Ginny B, just not on a regular basis. After that, she waved her fingers, and she said ta-ta, and she skipped to Camille and Chanel. Chapter 2. More surprises, plus her. Mother and Daddy kept trying to cheer me up about first grade. Mother says sometimes life has disappointment in it. Daddy says sometimes you have to roll with the punches. I say first grade is a club. Last year I had 2 bestest friends. First I had Lucille, plus also I had that Grace. Me and that Grace rode the school bus together every single day. Only to baffle us, because this year Grace got put in a different room than me, and that was not even fair. But hooray, me and Grace still decided to ride the bus together, because that's what friendship is for, I think. And so last week, both of us sat next to each other, just like we always did. Only, what do you know? On Monday morning, Grace got on the bus with a new girl from her class, and those 2 plopped down in the seat, right in front of me. I quick jumped up and tapped on Grace's head. Grace? I said. Excuse me, Grace, what kind of shenanigans do you call this, madam? Didn't you see me sitting here? Grace waved at me real friendly. Yes, hi, Ginny B, she said. I'm sorry I can't sit with you today, but I promised Bobby Jim Piper I will sit with her this morning, okay? I stamped my foot. No, Grace, not okay. You can't sit with Bobby Jim Piper, I said. You and I have to sit together every single day, because we sat together every day last year, and this year shall be no different. Just then, Mr. Wu, the bus driver, closed the bus door. He looked in his mirror at me. Sit down, please, Ginny B said. Bobby Jim Piper pointed and grinned. You got yelled at, she said, kind of mean. I made a scary face at that girl. Grr, I said. Grr, Bobby Jim Piper. Behind me, I heard a loud laugh. I quick spun around. And guess what? It was Herb who stood in front of me in room 1. Herb, I said, real surprised. I didn't even know that you wrote this book. Herb kept on laughing. You said grr, he laughed. Grr, huh, that's a good one. I wrinkled my eyebrows at that boy. Now here's the problem, Herbert, I said. Grr is not actually a joking matter. Plus, I wasn't even talking to you. Herb quit laughing. I know you weren't talking to me, he said. No one on this bus ever talks to me. That's because last year I went to a different school, so I don't have any bus friend yet. Just then the bus stopped at the next corner. Herb came around the seat and sat next to me. Maybe just for today, I can sit here, he said. Just until you get your bus friend back, I mean. I tapped on my chin very thinking. Then all of a sudden, I raised my voice real loud. Why, sure you can sit here, Herbert, I said. You can sit here forever if you want to, because I used to have a best friend named Grace. But today, I am dropping her like a hot tomato. Bobby Jim Piper picked out the seat at me. You mean potato, she teased. I sprang up again. Bobby Jim Piper wears a diaper, I hollered. Mr. Wu frowned in the mirror. Sit down, Junie B grouched. I sat down. Then I did a big breath, and I looked at her. Today is not off to a good start, I said, kind of quiet. Herb nodded. I hear you, he said. I slumped way down in my seat. My bestest friends are dropping like flies, I said. Herb nodded. Join the club, he said. First grade is a flub, I said. Herb nodded. Totally, he said. I looked out the window. Grr, I said. Grr, said Herb. I smiled to just myself. I think I might like that. I think I might like this Herb. Herbert Green stumped. Me and Herb walked to room 1 from the bus. We waved at Mr. Scary. Then I waved too. I am not even scared of that teacher hardly, I said to just myself. We kept on walking to our seats. May was already sitting at her desk. She was organizing her pencil box. Lenny was at his desk too. Only wait till you hear this. I didn't even recognize that guy almost, because Lenny had a thrilling new haircut, that's why. It was pointish and spikish and stiffish and straightish. That hair can puncture you, I think. Whoa, I said. Cool, said Herb. Yeah, said Lenny. Shh, said May. Just then, Joseph came hurrying down the road. He was rushing real fast, cause the bell was almost ready to ring. Hula, everyone, he said out of breath. Hula, hula. Me and Herb and Lenny looked curious at him. Just agreeing. Whoops, he said. Hula means hello in Spanish. I know 2 different languages. And sometimes I forget which one I'm speaking. Wow, Jose, I said. You really speak 2 languages? Cool, said Herb. Big deal, said May. I know Spanish too. I can count all the way to 3 in Spanish. Does anyone want to hear me? The rest of us looked at each other. Not really, said Herb. Not me, said Lenny. Me neither, said Joseph. May didn't pay attention to us. Uno, dos, tres, she said real loud. I leaned nearer to her. Shh, I said. Then everyone laughed and laughed, but not me. Pretty soon, the bell rang for school. Mr. Scary got our morning started. First, he took attendance of the children. Then he said, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Plus also, we listened to boring bulletin from the office. Finally, Mr. Scary walked to the chalkboard, and he printed a list of words. Boys and girls, he said, this morning I have a fun assignment for you. He winked at us and pointed to the list. I want you to read this word to yourself, he said. Then without talking to your neighbor, choose any word from the list and draw a picture of it in your journal. Miss Squirrel very thrilled. Oh, goody goody, she said. I love this kind of assignment, Mr. Scary. I am perfect at not talking to my neighbor. After that, she quick took a pencil out of her box. She started to draw. I stared at the word, and then I tapped on my chin, and I stretched my head, because I didn't actually get this assignment, that's why. I said, I glanced at my eyes at Herb and Lenny, and Joe said, all of them were drawing too. I looked back at I looked back at the board again. Then I stretched my neck as far as it could go, and I squinted my hardest. But those words had me stumped, I tell you. Finally, I reached out to Herb real secret, and I tapped on his back. Psst, Herb, I whispered. Quick question, what word are you drawing? May did a loud gasp. She jumped up from her seat and pointed at me. Mr. Scary, Ginny Jones is talking to her neighbor. See her? She's talking to Herbert, and that is against the rules. I turned my head. Blabber lips, I yelled. Blabber lips, May. Mr. Scary looked back at us. His mustache was not smiling. I did a gulp. Then I quick opened my journal, and I started to draw. Chapter 4, Clocks. We drew and drew in our journal. Mr. Scary waited until all of us were done. Then he walked around the room and he looked at everyone's picture. He gave out shiny gold stars. First he gave stars to Camille and Chanel. What great looking dogs you drew, girls, he said. Look at those floppy ears. Lucille raised her hand. Look at mine, teacher, she said. I drew a cat with pointy ears. See, my rich Nana is an expensive cat just like this. Its fur is a fruit stick almost. Mr. Scary looked strange at her. Really, Lucille? A wolf with a fur? He said, my. He gave her a gold star and moved on. He went to a boy named Roger. Roger was in my same class last year. Excellent job, Roger, Mr. Scary said. You drew a man wearing a coat. The word man and coat were both on the board, weren't they? I did a little frown, because none of these words were actually sounding familiar. After that, Mr. Scary walked to Sheldon and Shirley. Cool bat and ball, Sheldon, he said. And Shirley, you drew a bat and ball too, didn't you? I put my head on my desk. Something was very wrong here. Finally, Mr. Scary got to me. Oh, me, he said. What a special clock you drew. The big hand has 5 fingers. That's very unusual. Yes, said May. I created it myself. Plus, clock was the hardest word up there, wasn't it, Mr. Scary? I am the only one who even knew the word clock, I bet. Just then, my stomach felt sickish inside. I quick closed my journal and stuffed it in my desk. Mr. Scary saw me. Jenny B said, don't you want to show me your drawings? Don't you want a gold star for today? I shook my head real fast. Nope, no thank you. No, I don't. I said, not today. I really don't care for a gold star today. But thank you for asking. Mr. Scary kept on standing there. The end, I said. He did not budge. Please move along, I said. Finally, Mr. Scary bent down next to me. He lowered his voice so no one could hear. I'm sorry, Jenny B, but I really like to see what you drew, he said. I need to make sure that you understood the assignment. Then before I knew it, he took my journal out of my desk, and he gave it to me to hold. After that, he walked me into the hall and he let me show him my drawing in private. And guess what? He liked it, I think. Oh, whoa, look at that, Jenny B said. You drew a wonderful picture of he kept on looking. A screaming chicken, I said finally. Mr. Scary did a strange face. Yes, right, he said. It's a screaming chicken, I said again. I pointed at the chicken's mouth. See how it's screaming? Cluck, cluck, cluck? I used capital letters for the clucks. Capitals are for screaming, correct? Well, yes, I suppose so, said Mr. Scary. But the thing is, Junie B, the word club wasn't on the board today. I know it, I said. The word on the board was club. Only I didn't read all the letters right, I guess. Because I accidentally thought it was cluck. I tapped on my chin. What I actually wanted to draw was the butts and bowl, I said. I really liked the sound of that one. But I didn't even know how to get started exactly. So I went ahead with the cluck idea. Mr. Scary looked confused at me. The butts and bowl? He asked. I smiled kind of embarrassed. Yeah, well, I read those words wrong too, I guess, I said. They turned out to be bat and ball. Mr. Scary frowned. He said. What about the other word on the board, Junie B? Do you remember how you read some of the other ones? How about dog and cat, or coat and goat? I dropped back. Then I made my voice real quiet. Dog and cat and coot and ute, I said. Mr. Scary nodded his head. Then he patted my hand very nice. And he gave me back my journal, and we walked back into room 1. Chapter 5. Bug Bag. Tuesday. Their first grade journal. Mr. Scary just called me in from recess. All the other children are still playing out there. He said for me to write in my journal for a minute, and he will be with me soon. I kept picking at him from behind these pages. He's printing sentences on the board. It is extra work for me, I think. I do not actually approve of this. From Junie B, first grader. Mr. Scary can put down his chalk. You can stop picking on me now, Junie B said. I look at him real surprised, because that guy has eyes in the back of his hair. Apparently. He turned around and smiled. Do you see these 3 sentences that I just wrote up here? He asked. Yes, I said. I see them. Excellent, said Mr. Scary. Could you stand up and try reading them from back there, please? Just then, my heart got pumpy and pounding inside. But I'm not good at reading from the board. That's why I kept on sitting there. Please, said Mr. Scary. Just give it a try, okay? Finally, I stood up and I squinted at the sentences. I read real slow. Bob is a bug bag, I read. I didn't. He frowned at that news. Really? I asked. Bob is a bug bag? Mr. Scary pointed to sentence number 2. Try this one, he said. I squinted like some more. I like my hog's spit. I read again. I look at my teacher very curious. These sentences are oddballs, aren't they? I said. Mr. Scary pointed at the last one. Just one more to go, he said. This time, I stretched my neck and I strained my eyes. Jack is going to... I scrunched my eyes even smaller. To jail, I read. I did a gasp. Really? No fooling. Jack who? Mr. Scary came back to my seat. He took my hand and walked me closer to the board. Will you try reading them again from here, Junie B? Yes, I made my voice real whiny. But I don't want to read them again, Mr. Scary. I told him, I already know what they say. Just one more time, he said. So finally, I did a big breath, and I read the sentences all in a row. Bob is a big boy. I like my dog Spot. Jack is going to jail. I covered my mouth very surprised. Hey, what do you know? Is going to jail, Mr. Scary, I said. Phew, that's a relief, right? Mr. Scary laughed. Right, he said. For that, I have for the door. Okie doke. Well, I guess I'll be getting back to recess now, I said. See ya. I waited for him to answer. He did not say see ya. I turned around. See ya? I said a little bit softer, but Mr. Scary just shook his head no. It's too bad for me. He had other plans. Mr. Scary took my hand. We walked out of room 1 and down the hall. You and I are going to visit Mrs. Weller, Junie B said. You remember Mrs. Weller from last year, don't you? I shook my head no, because that name did not ring a bell. Mostly I will just like to remember recess, I said. Mr. Scary patted my shoulder. Mrs. Weller is a lovely person, he said. Recess is a lovely person too, I said. Mrs. Weller is a school nurse, he said. I quick stopped walking, because the school nurse is where you go when you are sick or tired. And I was totally fine. But I am in a good shape, I said. Seemed I don't even need a band-aid. Mr. Scary smiled. He pulled me along again. Of course you're in good shape, Junie B said. But Mrs. Weller does a lot of nice things beside giving out the band-aid. Just then we walked into Mrs. Weller's office. And guess what? I remember her perfectly well. I just never knew she had a name before. Why, Junie B. Jones? She said. What a nice surprise to see you again. It's a surprise to see you too, I said. because I'm not even sick or tired. Plus, also, I'm supposed to be at the playground right now. Mrs. Weller laughed out loud. Only I don't actually know why. After that, she and Mr. Scary whispered real quiet to each other. Then finally, Then finally, Mr. Scary patted my shoulder. I'm going to leave you with Mrs. Weller for a while, Junior B said. The two of you are going to play a game with our eye chart, okay? All of a sudden, my stomach felt kind of dumpy. Just playing a game with the nurse did not sound fun. No, I said inside my head. That's okay. Mr. Scary waved. See you, he said. I watched him go. I did not say see you back. Chapter 6. The E-Game. I sat in the chair next to Mrs. Weller's desk. She asked me a lot of questions. First, she asked me how I like my summer vacation. Then she asked me how I like first grade and how I like Mr. Scary. That is called stall talk, I believe. Finally, Mrs. Weller stood up. Have you noticed the eye chart I have hanging on my wall, Junie B? She asked. She pointed at them. Eye chart are posters that help us test our eyesight, she explained. I have two different kinds. See? One has alphabet letters on it, and the one right next to it is filled with funny E's. That one is called an E-chart. I look at that funny thing. Whoa, I said. Those are the craziest E's I ever saw. They are backward and forward and upside down. You're right, said Mrs. Weller. The E's are all mixed up. R and J. And today you and I are going to play a game with those mixed up E's. It's called the E-Game. After that, Mrs. Weller got a little paper cup and she showed me how to hold it over one of my eyes. We're going to be testing each of your eyes separately, she said. While one eye is hiding under the cup, the other eye will play the game, okay? I shrugged my shoulders, because what choice did I have? Mrs. Weller showed me where to stand to play the game. Then she went back to the E-chart. All right, she said. Now, each time I point to one of the E's, I want you to tell me the direction it's facing. Are you ready, Junie B? I shrugged again. Then I had one eye behind the cup, and Mrs. Weller pointed at the first E. I pointed at my finger up. That one is facing up at the ceiling, I told her. Good, she said. Excellent. I felt a little bit better inside. Mrs. Weller pointed to the next E. I turned my fingers down at the new floor. That one is facing down, I said. Mrs. Weller smiled and nodded. I stood up taller, because this wasn't as hard as I thought. After that, the nurse kept on pointing at more E's, and I kept on telling her which way they were facing. Right, left, down, left, up. I stopped and grinned. Hey, what do you know? I'm a brit at this game. Right, Mrs. Weller? Right? I said. Mrs. Weller winked at me. We're almost done, she said. Only a few more E's to go. She pointed to Nero. There was a fuzzy smudgy next to her finger. Whoops, I said. What's happened there? Did someone spill something on your chart? Mrs. Weller did a little frown. She kept pointing at the smudgy. Can you tell me anything about this mark at all, Junie B? She asked. Yes, I said. It is marble. Mrs. Weller moved her finger over a little bit. What about this mark here? Can you tell me anything about this one? I stared and stared at that thing. That's one tiny, I said. Finally, Mrs. Weller came over to me. That's fine, she said. You did just fine, Junie B. After that, we played the same game with my other eye. And guess what? I saw 3 more smudges, Merly. After I was done, I sat down in the chair again. Mrs. Weller said, I need glasses. I do not like Mrs. Weller. Chapter 7. Good guessing. The nurse called Mother at her work. She told tale about the glasses. Then Mother told tale to Daddy, and those two will not let the matter drop. They talk about glasses all during dinner that entire night. I couldn't even digest my food. That's good, because they kept talking about those stupid dumb glasses. Sooner or later, almost everyone ends up wearing glasses, Junie B, said Daddy. Really, they do. I put my chin in my hand and real glum. Really, they don't, I groaned. Daddy's telling you the truth, Ginny B, said Mother. And besides, you're going to look absolutely adorable in glasses. No, I am not. Absolutely not, I groaned again. Sure you are, said Daddy. And just think how great it will be to see the word on the board. I covered my ears. Not great, not great, not great, I said. Mother took my hand away. Listen to me, honey, please, she said. Glasses are like magic windows for your eyes. When you put them on, poof, the whole world becomes crystal clear. I did a huffy breath. Proof yourself, I groaned. After that, Mother picked me up, and she carried me to my room, as Dad was on the ground too many. The next morning, Daddy took me to the eye doctor. The eye doctor did lots more eyes to test with me. They were sort of fun, only I didn't tell Daddy. Also, the doctor put drops in my eyes. Drops make your eyeball get biggish and darkish. Eyeballs look very attractive, that's why. After the eye doctor, I went home till my drops were off. Then Daddy drove me to school. And guess what? All of the children stared at me when I came in the room. I was a late kid, that's why. I walked to my desk kind of shy. Herb's face smiled when he saw me. Ginny B. Jones, where were you? He said. I saved your seat on the bus, but you never came. We were afraid you might be sick, said Joseph. Yes, Lenny, you're not, are you? I certainly hope she's not sick, she stabbed me. You shouldn't come to school sick, Ginny Jones. Coming to school sick is how germs get started. I stuck in my cheeks at that girl. I'm not sick, May. I'm just late, and that's all. May made a grouchy face. Well, being late isn't good either, she said. Being late gets you a black mark on your permanent record. I covered up my ears after blah, 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 May, I said. Herb and Lanny and Joseph laughed out loud. Those guys are starting to enjoy me, I think. Pretty soon, I took out my workbook and I tried to do my math. Only too bad for me, because I kept on worrying about my new glasses. What if I look dumb and silly in those things? I thought. What if everyone laughed their head off at me? What if I look like a goony bird and no one wants to be my friend? The worrying will not go out of my head. Maybe I needed to talk to someone about this possibility. Finally, I reached out and tapped on her. Psst, Herbert, I whispered real soft. I have something I need to tell you. Only I am really afraid to say it. Because what if you laugh at me? Only you probably won't. But I still don't think I shall take the good chance. And so please do not ask me more about this. And I mean it. After that, I waited and waited. But Herb did not ask me. I tapped on him again. Okay, fine. I give you a hint, I said. But first, you're going to have to turn around and sneak a peek at me. Herb turned around and sneak a peek. I quickly made round circles with my fingers, and I held them in front of my eyes. Okay, what am I doing here, Herb? I whispered again. Huh? What does this look like to you? I'm making round circles in front of my eyes. See? What do you think they are? May leaned over to my desk. Shh, she said. Stop bothering her, Ginny Jones. If you don't shush right now, I'm going to tell the teacher. Suddenly, I jumped right out from my chair, because I headed with that girl, that's why. No, you shush. You shush had May, I said. I am not even bothering Herbert. I'm giving him a hint about my new glasses, and that is none of your business, sister. May's face looked shocked at me. Her mouth came all the way open. You're getting glasses? She said real loud. You're getting glasses? Said Herb. You're getting glasses? Said all of them one. The children stared and stared. My head felt hottish and sweatish. I sat back down in my chair. Then I looked at Herb, kind of sickish. They whispered the full word good guess. Chapter 8. Showing and telling. Friday. Dear first grade journal. Today I brought my new glasses to school. They are hiding in my sweater pocket because I don't want to put them on. That's why my stomach is in a knot ball. Also, there is tension in my head. We are having show and tell soon. I wish this day was over. From Ginny B, first grader. Mr. Gary clapped his hand. Okay, boys and girls, please put your journals away now. I'll give you more time later if you need it. But right now, we have to get started with show and tell. Who would like to go first this morning? May sprang out of her chair. I won't, she called out. Then she quick grabbed a brown envelope out of the backpack, and she ran to the front of the room. It's my report card from kindergarten, everyone, she said, real thrilled. I bought my report card to share with you. May waved it all around in the air. Look, can everyone see this? I got all E pluses. E is for excellent. See, there's an E plus next to every single subject. She held the report card in front of her. Okay, now I will read you each subject one by one, she said. After that, she took a big deep breath and she started to write. Number 1, I follow direction. Number 2, I use my time wisely. Number 3, I observe school rules. Number 4, I clean up my work area. Number 5, I Mr. Scary stood up. Thank you, May, he said. That is very interesting, but I'm afraid that we're going to have to move along now, and May raised her voice. Number 5, I was courteous and respectful. Number 6, I used materials wisely. Number 7, I just then Mr. Scary took May's arms, and he led her back to her seat. Lenny raised his hand to go next. He passed around his new stylish show. Plus also, he let us touch his hair. After that, Sheldon showed us how long he could stand on one foot. And Joseph sang a song about frogs. And Shirley showed us how her turkey sandwich. She showed us the bread, and the mayonnaise, and the tomato. Finally, Mr. Scary stood up again. Alrighty, Shirley, excellent sandwich, he said. But I really think it will go back in the bag now. Shirley sat down. Mr. Scary looked around the room. Okay, who wants to go next, he said. My stomach flipped and flopped, because a nervous idea popped into my head. That's why. I looked down at my glasses in my sweater pocket. Then I swallowed very hard. And I quick raised my hand in the air. Me, I blurted out. I do. Mr. Scary smiled. Great, Jenny B, he said. Did you bring something to share? I quickly pulled my hand down again. No, I said. I just changed my mind. My heart was thumping and pumping. I picked up my glasses one more time. Then all of a sudden my legs stood up, and they rushed me to the front of the room. My knees were wobbly and shaking. I bent over in a deep breath. Mr. Scary came over to me. Are you okay, Jenny B? He asked. Would you like to sit down and wait to do this another day? No, I said. I want to get this over with. Then fast as anything, I reached into my pocket and pulled out my new glasses. May started to laugh. It was loudish and minish. Look, it's her glasses, she yelled. She bought her glasses here for show and tell. And, they're purple. Tears came into my eyes. I quick covered my face with my hand. I wanted to sit down real bad, but my legs will not even move. I sit there very frozen. And then all of a sudden, I heard a noise. It was the sound of running feet, I think. I look up. My new friend, Herb, was running to the front of the room. And guess what? He took the glasses right out of my hand, and he put them on his own face. Cool, he said. Purple glasses. He looked all around. Wow, he said. My eyes could never see out of this, Jenny B. Your eyes must be really special. He looked admiring of me. How do your eye even do that, huh? Do you have x-ray vision or something? He asked. I shrugged my shoulders, kind of shy. I don't actually know, Herbert, I said. Possibly. Herb gave the glasses back to me. Here, he said, put them on and read something. I rocked back and forth on my feet. Well, okay, Herbert, if you insist, I said. After that, I put on my glasses and I walked all the way to the back of the room. I read the announcement of the board. Friday, September 23, I read. Today, get ready for a show and tell. Smile real proud. The end, I said. After that, I went back to my desk.